Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Sorry about the delay, I have weekly midterms. Today we'll summarize the Season 9 patch notes for COD Mobile 2024. The best gun in the game is getting minor nerfs to its most popular magazine attachment. A strafe nerf is whatever compared to how much faster it is compared to other ARs, and its smaller 5.56 mag destroys its mobility. A bullet speed nerf is something, but the BP50 is a close to mid-range weapon. At worst, you'll lose a meter or two of hit scan frame rounding. When I was drafting a script for the Lag 53, I was going to suggest a headshot boost to go with its semi-auto barrel, but I guess I don't have to anymore. It's also getting a fire rate boost with said barrel, but you'd have to have a very fast trigger finger to reach its cap of 430 rounds per minute. The drifter barrel on the ground will now increase its fire rate from 732 to 778 rounds per minute, a little faster than the AK-117 and RUS. This is quite an unexpected change because this is not something it did in Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Warfare's Kilo 141 is getting a small buff to its marksman barrel. I don't know why this is necessary, because the Kilo is not an AR that I would have thought about strafing with, especially with such a slow barrel. Black Ops 2's Type 25 is finally getting a buff. The base flinch is still the worst in its class, but at least it can resist high impact weapons better. The new sprint out time is now on par with the average SMG instead of approaching shotguns and LMGs. Black Ops 4's GKS is getting the most significant buff this season. It's now a guaranteed 3-shot kill to the legs in its first range, and it can 2-shot with both headshots like some high-impact ARs. Few other aggressive SMGs have such a guaranteed time to kill. Also, its effective 4-shot range has been doubled, and this is much better than most ARs. The AGR is finally getting a significant buff to its base damage. It's now a guaranteed 6-shot kill at long range, and now has infinite effective range if you can manage its recoil. 5.56 won't buff your damage anymore, but will have improved multipliers. It's important to note that the 30-round 5.56 mag will have a higher chest and headshot multiplier compared to its 60-round counterpart. If you combine one headshot with all body shots, you could get a 3-shot kill up close. Other than that, if you avoid leg shots, it has an infinite 5-shot potential. The Pharo's vertical recoil is no longer a problem, as it now recenters properly between each burst. The pattern is still randomized, but you only have to worry about its horizontal recoil, which can be mitigated by its buffed Ranger foregrip or strafing. The new body multiplier on the SKS will eliminate any damage inconsistencies and allow it to 2-tap anywhere above the legs from any range, as if it wasn't already superior to most other iron sight semi-autos. The new flinch is still high, but it will be far more manageable compared to snipers. This last bit sounds like a nerf, as it seems like they're removing recoil assistance when trying to manually pull down. Modern Warfare's Mark II is getting a similar buff to its flinch, and its base ADS speed will now match the Kilo Bolt instead of being the slowest marksman. Now it's nowhere near as dependent on its mobility attachments, and you can use optics or weapon perks more freely if you wish. The D13 from Black Ops 3 is still one of the worst weapons in this game. It's not as horrible now, but you still can't slide cancel, the hitbox is still small, and you still can't collateral multiple people like in Black Ops 3. To round off weapons, Vanguard's machine pistols are getting a range buff that only apply to its solo version. This is fine because Akimbo was its only redeeming quality. Moving on to operator skills, the TAC-5 from Black Ops 4 will increase the health of you and your whole team to 160 instead of 150. This may not seem like much, but if you and your team find themselves outplayed by quickscopers in respawn modes, 160 health is enough to shrug off a lot of would-be one-shot kills. Havoc, which is based on the jammer field upgrade from Cold War and Vanguard, will have more range and give you more points. For streaks, the Dragonfire drone from Black Ops 2 is getting a nerf to the number of shots it gets, and the duration of wall hacks. I'm not sure why though. For throwable gear, The radius of the cryo bomb is increased by 1 meter. Using the area of a circle formula, this is an increase by 44%. If you combine this with Dauntless's protection against slowness, this could be useful for attacking hardpoints because it goes through walls. For green perks, Recon will have more scanning range after killing an enemy, but I'd rather just use a UAV or heartbeat sensor. Serpentine is getting an unexpected buff to its damage resistance. This might come in handy if you're having a hard time against snipers. For all intents and purposes, the new Type 63 is like the SKS but with the Cold War gunsmith. So you have more potential with fire rate, mobility, and flinch resistance, whereas the old Modern Warfare 2019 style gunsmith used by the SKS had better stability. I thought this would be released last season, but it's actually this season, and it seems very powerful up close due to its health regen and infinite ammo, but it's also quite vulnerable to streaks and operator skills. So if you're not playing Shipment, it's probably not that bad. I don't usually comment on camos, but there is a collab event with the Alchemy Stars mobile game. From what I've seen, there's a cool looking Aurora Borealis themed camo, and it's technically in the global version, but the only way to grind for it is in a gacha themed Helldivers mode that's region locked to Asia. Yet, Activision is perfectly okay with bringing over the lucky draw, the stuff that you pay for. No one knows if it'll eventually be available for everyone else, and if so, no one knows when. I just know that a lot of people are upset. Not because of the cosmetics or camos themselves, but by making events region exclusive, it doesn't give global players much to look forward to aside from annual anniversaries. The game is 5 years old. It released before Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone. Even still, the player numbers are still quite high if we go by these series collections. So, what are my thoughts on these balance changes? The BP50 is still dominant, and at this point it's starting to get irritating because historically the most dominant metas don't last this long. If it weren't for the BP50, maybe the GKS would be up there. Other than that, I'm looking forward to using the AGR in both base and 5.56, the Pharo, and the Mark II. The SKS and Type 63 debate is going to be interesting to analyze. But hey, that's just my opinion. While we all wait for the 5th anniversary, I'll be working on the LAC 53, and it shouldn't take as long as the HD 40. My name is An, and I'm off.